welcome all medical fraternity into this series. I kept this series name as They Struggled to Give Us Comfort. I want to bring the pioneers in the field of medicine. With their contribution, today we are having a comfortable life. To give us comfort, they struggled. So, just to remind them and to have a tribute to them, I am doing certain videos remembering them and giving a tribute to all of them. So I hope you will enjoy these videos. This series is completely about they struggled to give us comfort. In this series of they struggled to give us comfort in the field of medicine, according to the author Dr. Louis Rose, today I want to speak about two persons who are very much important, especially in the field of radiology. Today, what we are having, the radiology is very, very important. The radio diagnosis had reached to its peak. We can see the minute things which not only seeing or radiographing, but also can be used for curing many diseases, especially for the cancers and all those things. Even today, the laser technology, everything depends on this radiology only. So, the father of radiology, I want to start with the person William Conrad Rontgen. William Conrad Rontgen, he is a pioneer, and without his contribution, I don't feel there is a medicine. There is a something which we can today. What we are having the comfortable things in the field of medicine will not be there. So I really thank such a pioneer, William Conrad Rontgen, who had contributed his life for us. Particularly, let's speak about William Conrad Rontgen. Who is he and what he did on this era? In order to remember all his contribution, let's speak about the early radiological history. The history of radiology, most peoples, at least in US, had at least one medical imaging study in their entire lifetime. A clear indicator of the impact radiology has had in public health. In 2015, this science, the radiology, had celebrated its 100th birth. 100th birthday has been celebrated on 2015. It sounds good. It speaks about that it is older one. Yes, it started in the late 1800 and it grew, and today we can see radiology in vast sectors, which is the radiology is very special. It is having a very good speciality. It creates and interprets the picture of human body and its organs, the body system to diagnose sickness and injury. Radiology, as it is a commonly called, also can be referred to as imaging services, medical imaging or diagnostic imaging. The common term here it is imaging, since that it is focus. It may be X-rays technologies such as radiology, CT scanning, DXA scanning, mammography, angiography, interventional medicines. Additional non-X-ray technologies are also there like ultrasound, radionuclide imaging, MR, all of them. But to speak all these things, we need to speak about the history of this radiology. Let's speak about the person who is responsible, who created a history, who created a story of the radiology. Let's speak about that person, William Conrad Rontgen. He is a German mechanical engineer and a physicist. Rontgen discovered a new type of electromagnetic energy as he was experimenting in his laboratory. It was a discovery for which he would later win a Nobel Prize in Physics in 1905. On November 8th, 1895, Ronald William Conrad Rontgen was studying the behavior of electrons as they pass through a glass tube, known as Crookes or Hitoffer's tube. The tube was completely enclosed in a light tight cardboard, wrapped, and his work was performed in near total darkness in his laboratory. As he experimented with the tube, he accidentally noticed a nearby workbench coated with barium platinocene giving off a low intensity greenish light. The light seemed to happen as an electron tube was energized, and he quickly made the association between the flow of electrons and this became a new kind of ray. During further tests, he found that objects of varying thickness placed in the paths of the rays revealed changing transparency when captured on a photographic plate. When he put his wife's hand in the path of the rays for a photographic plate for a few moments, it developed a unique image. The developed plate showed shadows thrown by the bones of her hand and a ring she was wearing, surrounded by a flesh, which was more permeable, permeable to the rays, and thus threw a fainter shadow. That was the first X-ray image of a human being. Here, I want to emphasize more on William Ronald Conrad Rontgen. He had he was doing a lot of work on this one, and when he was doing this lot of work in this field of radio diagnosis, what had happened, I want to emphasize mainly on not only his contribution but also his sacrifice. What he did, how he had sacrificed his entire life. What had happened? Why he is considered as father of X-ray or radiology? Of course, his contribution was awesome. He only coined the name X-ray when he used these rays to create an image of his wife's hand on a photographic plate. We know very well about what had happened, but if you don't, we will just recollect. William Conrad Rontgen was a professor at Bavaria Würzburg University. In that university, he was doing. But before that one, let's see about his past life and how he had succeeded in his life. Let's speak about what happened and how he became this much successful. His success, behind his success, there is another person who is there. His contribution was awesome. He lived for 77 years, and and his life was a marvelous thing because he had contributed so much to the field of radiology. But in order to contribute that one, along with him, there is one more person who is responsible for the success. She is none other than the wife of Conrad Rontgen. Her name is Anna Berth Ludwig, and she was the first person who experienced the X-rays on her own body. Before that one, there was no X-rays. What to speak about this? Yes, Anna was such a person who was always an encouraging person to her husband. Anna was born in Switzerland on April 22, 1839, and she married Ronjan. So their marriage and everything, if you see, it's a wonderful story. Wonderful story, because here Anna, she is a tall girl, a thin girl, and an attracting girl, and they run a small tea stall or a coffee shop. In that coffee shop, occasionally Ranjan used to come. Maybe in the first sight they have fallen in love. Afterwards, they were ready to get married, but Conrad Ranjan's father Ranjan, he was not agreeing because she was 6 years elder than William Conrad Ranjan. Even though his father did not agree, they got married. As they got married, Ronald's father, because of stubbornness, he did not give any financial support. William Ronald Conjan's father was a businessman, so he did not support William. As a result, his life was very, very much deteriorated without any financial support. Even in that condition, even in that condition, both were happy together. Where Ronald wanted to focus on his experiments. He used to give long hours for his experiments, both at the university, even in his own house. In his own house, he made it as a lab. And Anna was great affectionate to her husband and understood William need a space. So what she did, she used to give a lot of time for him to more concentrate on his experiments. Actually, as a girl, as a lady, she want to get conceived and she want children, but their wish was never came true. He used to have more time only on these experiments. In 1887, a tragedy happened in Anna's family. Her only brother died, leaving a small girl. Her name is called Josephine. She was just 6 years old. So both they have decided, Anna and Ronjan decided to adapt this girl. As a result, her motherhoodness had been completed. Anna supported Ronjan in so much way. He started to grow. In 1894, he was elected as a new rector for the University of Würzburg. His teaching and research, as well as granting his first Nobel Prize in physics, was in 1901. Anna allowed her husband to work. She used to take care of family with whatever the meager economic things which are there. We know that he bagged in 1901 the Nobel Prize. As he received the Nobel Prize with that of the donated amount of 50,000 Swedish crowns, you know what he did, Ronson? He had given back that Swedish crown $50,000 to the laboratory. To the lab only he had donated. And after discovery of X-ray, his own wife came forward and said that you do on my hand, because that time there was no belief on today's modern medicine. They don't believe on those things, but at that time this lady Anna came and said, yes, you do on my hand. So that's why the first X-ray which was being taken was none other than Anna's hand. There we can see the ring also. you know After, at the age of 80 years, Anna died with nephrotic cramps, and her husband died with bowel cancer. Both died, both struggled, helped each other. They don't have children. It's not that he is impotent, but the point is he had contributed his entire life, whole time, for the field of medicine. And his wife understood and she supported him. With their struggles, today we had modern radiological techniques. I personally, when I was studying about the Röntgen, William Conrad Röntgen, my my whole life had been stirred up. That's why I'm keeping this video, saying that we salute our heroes. Their struggles gave us comfort. I salute William Conrad Röntgen and his wife, Anna, for their contribution to the field of medicine, especially in the radio diagnosis. Thank you.